As a former and still current freckle-faced girl, and as a 65-year-old, I usually prefer a full coverage foundation. But in the warmer months, I'm game to try a lighter coverage product such as a sheer foundation or even a skin tint. Now, I've tried all of the skin tints from Dermatology, and this one called their matte tint is my favorite. Now, but what about covering my under eye circles and my tear troughs? Well, Dermatology has a product for that too. So let's give it a try and see how it goes throughout the day. Hi, I'm Glory B, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. I've shown in the past how I disguise my under eye tear troughs with makeup. I was mostly using the Pixie Correction Concentrate, which is a thick product, applying it with a concealer brush and then applying a full coverage foundation over that. But many of my viewers didn't like the thick consistency of the Pixie Corrector. And then Dermatology launched their Luminous Eye Corrector, which is not thick, and my viewers have been loving it. By the way, everything I show you today is listed and linked in the description box and in the first comment below the video. To get to the description box on a phone or tablet, go below the video and tap the word more. That opens up the box a bit. Then you have to tap the word more a second time, and the box opens completely. Then scroll down to the section called Products Shown or Mentioned. If you prefer to find the first comment on a phone, go below the video and tap the word Comments. Then tap the words Read More, and my first comment will open completely. Discount codes I have for you are also mentioned in both places. And many of you prefer a sheer foundation or skin tint product, so we're going to switch to earlier today when I applied these products on camera. All right, I just blew dry my hair and I'm ready to start. I guess I need another little thing for this little bit of hair that's growing in. So I'm going to start with my Dermatology Luminous Corrector in the color medium. I just take a little tiny bit like this and then realize I need like a 10x mirror. And I just dot it on. And I like to get it into that corner and then pat it in and even get a little bit on my eyelid for all that discoloration. And a little bit goes a long way, so I don't even have to do a whole press down. I just do, a tiny amount. The amount I put on my first eye was probably more than I needed. Okay, that's not done. This is an eye test. Get a little bit on the eyelid. I like to get some in that inner corner. Okay. And that looks good. So now I'm ready for the Dermatology Matte Universal Tinted Moisturizer, SPF 46. But I already did my skincare, and I always put on a sunscreen separately from this. I don't rely on this, even though SPF 46 sounds like a lot, but you'd have to use a lot of product for that. So, all right. So I put on a lot. First I dot it on, then I smear it around, and then I'm going to buff it out with a BK beauty brush. And of course, I don't want to undo all that good work I just did with the corrector. So I'm just tapping in those areas. And coming in the studio, I don't have my regular makeup mirror. And with my 65-year-old eyes, it's a little harder to see what I'm doing close up. So that's why I have my trusty 10x mirror to make sure that I'm not missing like swaths of product. I'm still freckle-faced. I always will be. Sometimes I'll take a little more product and just put it in places that in the mirror seem like, okay, I don't have enough there. It's not as much as everywhere else. And then my BK Beauty brush is my 115. This is a nice dense brush. And I'm just going to go all around the edges, get around the nose, pat in the eye area. And then I'll check it in my 10X mirror. And of course, when I'm doing a full coverage foundation, I'm making sure that I'm blending it. Usually I don't need any more. But with something like this, with a tinted moisturizer, I might be looking for spots where I might want a little more product, which I'm just going to not add any more today because I want you to see throughout the day what this looks like. Now, I was going to do the rest of my makeup off camera, but I'm going to do one more thing, and that is under eye concealer just to brighten that area because you can still see, yeah, my under eyes don't look terrific. They look okay. The other thing is, again, this is why I like the matte because they're tinted moisturizers that are not the matte are more shiny. And then I feel like I need more powder to bring down the shine, and you're not seeing as much of that. So I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'll put the color, I think it's 20B, but I'll put the color below. And there isn't much product left in here anymore, but I can get enough. And I can just put a little bit under each eye, you see, and I'm dotting it on in the inner corner. Oh, I'll get some of that. And then I'm going to use another BK Beauty brush. This is from Angie's line. This is the A506. And I'm just lightly dabbing at this like a stipple brush to brighten the area. And then I'm going to take a slightly damp beauty blender and just go over those edges a little bit, not a lot. All right, now I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. I'm back with a full face of makeup. Now, after I applied my makeup, it is allergy season. So I started sneezing like crazy, blowing my nose way too much. And I did reapply a little bit before coming back on camera because I was just blowing my nose and blowing my nose and blowing my nose. It's just one of those days. Of course, it's filming day, right? Of course. Okay. So for a sheer skin tint moisturizer, I think my skin looks pretty good. Now, I know you're seeing me through the lens of a camera and then on your screen here. So next, we'll check this a couple times throughout the day by a window or even outside, and I'll probably use my cell phone sometimes, which shows everything. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've been sneezing a little bit more, but not as much as I was before I got back to filming before. So anyway, I haven't touched up my makeup. I'm filming 2 videos today, so I've been busy doing that even though it's kind of nice outside and I'd like to get outside. You know, I'm looking at this using my cell phone on the screen and my close-up vision isn't good. So you're probably seeing it more crisply than I am. But, again, for somebody who likes full coverage foundation, it doesn't look bad. And it's not shiny, it's their matte. And so far it's looking good. But between this 3 o'clock check-in and the next check-in, I'm also going to look at myself in my own makeup mirror with the 10X and the 5X just to see how it looks to me when I can actually see what you're seeing. All right, it's a little later, closer to 6. And I decided to come outside. Maybe the color will be better. That last clip, I don't know what that was. So I just looked at myself in my makeup mirror in the 10X and the 5X. So it doesn't look bad, for going all day I've seen regular foundations look so much worse later in the day. And this one, I've been sneezing a lot. I haven't touched it up. So a little bit is worn off from my nose. But other than that, if you like a light, non makeup kind of look, then I think this is something that could work for you, even if you're a senior citizen like I am. So the sun is behind a cloud. You can kind of see a little close up, and it's going behind the roof line, but maybe you can see that. Um, Not shiny, and I think it looks pretty good for a tint, because so many of these things will wear off by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock p.m. So let's go back in the house. Okay, one more clip. Now that I watched it back, the other thing that has lasted all day, which I'm shocked about still, is the Urban Decay liquid eyeshadow. And it hasn't smudged, it hasn't creased. I have the color down below in the description box and in the first comment, and I'm just really impressed with these. I've never liked creamy eyeshadows on me, not when I was a teenager, not when I was in my 20s. They always creased, and then I thought I would hate them at this age, but they've just gotten so much better, and just the technology or however they're making them. And so this has not creased all day, and it looks beautiful. It stayed exactly where I put it. It dries quickly, so that might be something if you like eyeshadows, this is something that you might want to look into. It comes in like 6 or 7 shades. So, yeah, that stayed in place for sure. These 3 products together are pretty impressive on my 65-year-old freckle-faced skin. Make sure to check them out in the description box or in the first comment below the video. If you want to see how I applied the Pixie Correction Concentrate under full coverage foundation, there are 2 videos and their images are on the right side of your screen. Tap one of them to watch next, and I'll see you in the next video.